Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and you're welcome here for episode 4 of Ignore the Noise. There I am. I was on something else. And we have our guest here, Conor Miley, everybody.
Hello.
All the way from Gory, I believe.
Gory earlier on today, yeah.
Unbelievable.
A long old journey up.
Now, that'll just tell all the other guests the dedication that you've showed here today to be here.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, not Barry. Hi,
yeah, Barry, you came for like 5 minutes away. Good man, Barry. Oh, the traffic was terrible.
Not you, Barry.
Oh, me?
No,
I'm even worse. It's like 2 seconds into my house. Okay, well, thank you very much for being here, Conor. I really appreciate it. Yeah, travelling all the way, and it does mean an awful lot to us, so thank you.
No bother. Thanks a million.
Explain to us what we're looking at here, because this is some contraption.
Well, I suppose the harmonium, I'll use it a little bit.
Yes.
But I said I'd bring it up anyway. I've had that I bought that from India on eBay.
Lovely.
About 10 years ago, I'd say. And I was in a band, We Raise Bears. We used to use that a lot, myself and Sharon. But this thing here I only got it last year. This is a music box.
Yeah.
It's called a Muro box. I think some guy in Taiwan
Lovely.
makes it, and I bought it in. But they say it's the only. I control it with an app on my phone.
Yeah.
Or you can link it up to a keyboard with a MIDI cable and play it straight out with the. But it's only the white notes though, so it's like 25. It's over 2 octaves, I think. Maybe what's it called? Anyway.
Yeah.
But they're making a new one, which has all the black notes in the keyboard as well. But that's going to be twice as long and twice as
so hang on.
expensive.
It only twice as and twice expensive.
More keys, more price.
But I have an app on my phone for it, so you program in MIDI and it will show you in the song I'm going to play in a few minutes.
Yeah.
That I would have programmed it at home.
Yeah.
And you press play on the app and it plays it out. So it's actually it's purely mechanical, and it's a real music box, but it's app controlled.
That's
So
crazy.
it's
I've never and before you came, both me and Berto were Google searching music box with
Wi-Fi because we were so confused.
I'd never. I was like, is it like a music box?
Yeah, why doesn't he need Wi-Fi?
yeah. It's like I looked it up. I don't know year I wanted, because I recorded an album there that I'm releasing in about 5 or 6 months.
Yeah.
But I have there's about 3 or 4 of the songs I've like a music box, but I would have used a plugin, but very realistic plugin.
Gotcha.
you know.
Yeah.
So I said it'd be really good if I could have an actual music box doing that stuff.
Yeah.
So I googled it, and this company came up. Like, it's new.
Yeah.
They've only been going. They did like a fundraising thing, like what you call it? Yeah. But that's how they
Sorry.
they raised the money to develop it.
It's a funny thing that until you've told me about it, I don't think I ever thought, do you know what I want? I want a music box that I can control by my phone.
Yeah.
But now I want one.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Always every few months I'll have an idea that I want something. So
Oh, man, I get it.
It's an expensive hobby.
Connor,
I don't always get it now.
Yeah.
do you know what you need? You need to get ahead of this, and you need to be the only guy that brings that into the country. That's what you need to be.
This guy I looked him up. He's like a PhD from one of the big universities in America.
Right.
So he's a bit in engineering or something. So
So probably MIT or something like that.
I don't know. Yeah, and I think he set up the company with his wife. But they're very personal. You send them an email and they get back, and they're very good.
That's incredible, man. That really is.
Like I like that sort of. It is a bit more expensive, but I have like a pedal switcher at home. I got a few years ago off some fella in France.
Right.
But it's really good. What was it called? The Roadie, something Roadie. Can't even remember.
Yeah.
He wasn't great at emailing back.
Oh, right.
But yeah, it was good though.
But his
Really
product was
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, the product was good. Yeah. But I like all the sort of little independence.
Yeah, man, that's amazing.
I started on Instagram like in the last 2 or 3 months. Really.
Yeah.
I never really did it before, but I think it's great for getting in contact. There was this. There's a guy on it does like ambient music. So I listened to one of his stuff. I think he's Irish, but it was all this sort of noisy. I said, "What is that?" And he said it's a noise box. So I looked that up, and people on Etsy make them. And you put a piezo microphone inside with all these magnets and stuff, and you flick the magnets and it makes this amazing sound.
Wow.
So that might be something I'll look at in the future.
Yeah.
But they seem to be hit and miss now because they're all homemade.
Yeah.
I like
Well, I
one
love
that's
the
gonna be out.
experimental nature of your music so far, and we were listening to your tracks that are available on Spotify. Everybody that's watching, please go over to Spotify and follow Conor Miley, absolutely immediately. And all the stuff, all the time, like we differed on what we both heard, but I heard a lot of like David Bowie and stuff like that. And you were like more Beatles, Abbey Road kind of stuff.
Radiohead,
But
uh,
all good stuff, by the way,
Yeah.
all good stuff.
Well, that's the one song I have of Father's Day.
Yeah, Father's Day, yeah.
I'll have another one now at the start of May. There's a video done for it called Thousand. Actually, I'll do some acoustic version of that here.
Cool.
But yeah, I suppose that Father's Day one, yeah. Well, all the songs, 11 on the album, they're all quite lush, dramatic.
Yeah.
Like I have started rehearsing with a band to play them live. We're meant to have a gig tomorrow, but one of the fellas is sick, so I'm just going to do it on my own. But hopefully in a few weeks we'll be gigging, starting gigging and going up towards the album launch October or September. We'll just build it up towards that, like.
Great.
And but to play that stuff, there's a lot in the songs, like.
Yes.
Because I played most things on my own now. I recorded like during lockdown at home, so all the vocals, guitars, pianos, keyboards, synths, percussion, vocals, that's all. Well, there's a lot of like harmonies and so that's all me.
Wow.
I wrote the strings. They were recorded in a studio, and I even pretty much wrote the drum parts.
Yeah.
And they were recorded in studio, and I wrote the trumpets that I recorded. I don't play trumpets, so I got a guy who plays with the Booker Brass Band.
Oh, lovely.
And I recorded them, and he played them.
So you do you're not only are you producing the music, but you recording it yourself.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
everything bar the drums and strings are recorded, because I think that's a very specialised
Drums?
thing. And strings.
And
as
strings,
well,
yeah.
Because there would have been the strings. I wanted a quartet, but it was far too expensive. So I did manage to get 3. So there was 2 violinists and a cello
Lovely.
player, and then one of the violinists just overdubbed the viola line.
Lovely, yeah,
So
yeah.
they were brilliant though.
Crazy,
They were.
man.
We got it done. They were played in 7 or 8 songs. I think we got it done in 6 hours.
Oh, nice.
In the studio, but I had it like very, very well prepared.
Yeah,
I
you'd
mean,
want to.
It was micromanaged the whole
Yeah.
session.
If you didn't, it
Yeah.
could be a very expensive
exactly, yeah.
day for you.
And I told them, like, one of them, I think 1 or 2 of them had a gig in Limerick. It was in Cork who recorded the strings. They're like, we have to be gone by 4. Are you sure we'll be done? I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah.
We were done by 4, so it was great.
Brilliant, man.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear that album. That sounds amazing. It sounds right up my street, actually.
Okay, I think it'll be like September, October. They'll have it released. I'm gonna do it with the vinyls, and I'll even do a few CDs. I think.
Cool.
Even
Yeah.
I've nothing to play CDs on.
No, me neither.
But buy it.
I do have an old computer that I could if I wanted.
Or
to
the car, or the van, or whoever you probably have a.
No,
yeah.
the car. There's no CD player on it.
Yeah,
No.
mine doesn't have one either.
Yeah.
What, have you a tape deck?
In my car?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, of course.
But,
Am I the only posh one that has a CD player in the van?
or like, poor.
Yeah, or you could be poor. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to poke. No. Well, CDs. At some point, CD probably be the retro way of listening to music. You know?
Yeah.
I know. Like vinyl, I've steered clear of because it just sounds like a really expensive hobby, and I just didn't want to get into it.
Yeah.
I have like I don't know how many 100 CDs.
Yes.
Hundreds and hundreds. They're now worthless.
Yeah.
They're absolutely worthless. I've boxes.
For now.
Boxes.
Yeah.
But boxes and boxes. My dad is like a farm in Roscommon, and under one of the beds, there's just hundreds of CDs that are mine. So it's
Propping
I've
up
just
some
been-
bed somewhere.
every time, like even when I go into Tesco's, do you have the vinyls now? I'm like, will I buy one? I'm like, no, 'cause I just don't want to start.
Well, we were actually just chatting about vinyl
We
before, not in a kind of intellectual way, more so like I have one of them cheapy kind of, what do you call it, like a 60-70 euro type thing for listening. It's not a very It's not very good, but you can buy vinyl, listen to a vinyl. But you're on about buying this Audio Technica
Audio
one.
Technica one, yeah. Just because I googled it.
Two or
Just
100 and something euro.
200 and something, yeah.
And you need to get obviously an amp.
And no, it's actually built in. That's why I was looking at that one. Yeah. It was a smart option.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Then I was completely wrong there. But generally speaking, when you go down the vinyl route and you get into that audiophile territory, you're getting the nib has to be a certain thing. The coaxial cables and stuff all have to be a certain grade, and it's a very expensive venture for sure.
Well, I have my parents have a vinyl player they don't use.
Rob
I
it.
moved to Gory a year ago. They're like, "Do you want to take it?" I was like, I haven't taken it yet.
Yeah.
So at least I have that. But that's not my worry. My worry is all the vinyls. They're like 30 quid a
30
go.
quid, yeah, it's ridiculous.
And it's just...
Record store day. That's the day to go.
And in Gory, there's a great record store, actually. What's it called? It's up the top of the town. I can't remember the name of it, but it's...
Yeah. Shout out to the record store in Gory.
Yeah, it's all second-hand stuff.
Yeah, lovely.
There's a lady who runs it, and it's just her thing. She's the only one who works in the shop as far as every time I walk by, she's the only one there. But it seems, I think a lot of collectors around Ireland would go there.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
that's
that's like 2 minutes from my house.
Oh,
so it just sounds very expensive.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I think we've just discovered your new hobby.
Good morning. Time to go buy another record.
Now, Conor, you're obviously a musician. You're going to play some songs for us. So why don't you strap on? You're going to do one on your guitar first, are you?
No, the music box. So I'm going to get this thing working.
Cool.
Yeah, so this is going to be the cover. So I think the borrowed one.
Yes.
Was the theme.
Yeah.
It's a song by a band called Low.
Nice.
It's called Point to Disgust. So I suppose the songs I'm playing all have a similar theme.
Yeah.
I had an idea that I played them in one go, but I think I've abandoned that.
Okay.
Because it's meant to be like a story. But this song is basically about falling hard into a relationship. Basically, that's what it seems to be about. But the one who sings it, Mimi Parker, she died there the end of last year of cancer, which is very sad. And I was listening to the song a lot around that time. But I love the band. I saw them at Electric Picnic. I was playing at Electric Picnic a few years ago, just a small, tiny thing, and it was freezing, and they were playing in a tent.
Lovely.
So I just went in and thought they were amazing, and since then I love them.
Class, man. Well,
so
give us a listen.
I might put these on. So I hope this music box, when I press this, it should start the...
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry. My phone's now on silent, Berto. Thank you.
Good job.
And after all the talk about this, I can't get it starting. Hang on, let me bring it up here.
Well, take your time.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I have to.
Don't worry, I'll tell them jokes or something.
Yeah.
I've plenty.
No, Berto. Actually, no. Well, let's have a Berto joke.
No. You don't want. Do you want one?
Let's see.
Aha.
There we go. Once I was lost to the point of disgust. I had in my sight lack of vision, lack of light, and I fall hard, and I fall fast. Mercy me, never last. Then in the dust, all the things we discussed were lost to the wind. So at last we begin, and we fall hard, we fall fast. Mercy me, it never lasts. We fall hard, we fall fast. Mercy me, never lasts. Thank you.
Amazing.
So I didn't get time to cut these strings. They're new strings. I think they're banging away there.
It added to the effect.
It actually timed it quite well, didn't it?
But yeah, that was that.
Now, Berto, I know you've got questions, so go ahead.
I don't even know where to start. No, I just can't get over that. The music box. It's
Yeah, so I would have
absolutely unreal.
programmed all that. You can program it on the app,
Yeah.
or you can import a MIDI file in,
Yeah.
and it reads that. And plays
Okay,
it
and can
straight
you
out.
plug that straight into your DAW, or does it go through in any way?
I haven't done that
Yeah.
that way. I only programmed it that way. You can do
Okay.
it with a flash drive.
Okay.
I know that. I think that's the way it's done. There's a little connection that comes with it. You attach a flash, and then you can program into it. Like there's pre-saved ones on this as well.
Cool.
And I imagine with the app I can import
Yeah.
MIDI from a. If I
There's
export
no
it
way
from
you
a
can
DAW.
open that up and mess around with it yourself.
This one.
You mean physically?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I don't.
Because that's I'm tempted. I won't.
Keep Berto away from the music box.
But yeah, so it's great. Like, as I said, it's very quiet though. So I'd had the idea of playing it live with a band or whatever, but that's impossible. So it can only be certain occasion, or you can record it.
Yeah.
So I will in the next album definitely use that loads. Like
I could definitely even just record it and at home and then use like samples live and different things like that, and just like
that's another possibility.
Yeah.
It is lovely though having it in the space, you know what I mean, rather than like you say pre-recording it and then say using it as a track or whatever. But actually physically having the thing,
like it looks lovely.
It does.
Where's it coming? Like where's the
sound coming
from?
I guess there's little like any music box. There's little whatever you call it down here. It's like what you call that thing, the kalimba.
Kalimba,
So it's like that. It's effectively the same
I
principle.
wonder if like a little what do they call lapel? The little
lapel mic.
lapel mics. If you manage to put one of them somewhere, like
Inside or
I
something?
emailed them about that. And they
Yeah.
did get back to me.
Wow.
They're saying the problem
'cause
is
you-
all the mechanical noise.
yeah.
So
so
you need
you'd
to keep
hear
a
the-
microphone away from it.
Oh, so you can't put
So
it.
I was asking them, do they plan on having one with a mic in it?
Yes.
And they were saying it's just the mechanical noise, unless they can reduce that down to very
Funny
little.
enough, you have the same problem when you record an accordion, because you can hear the clickiness of the bellows. So bringing your mics back and getting more of the room is the way to. Same with uilleann pipes as well.
Yeah.
They're quite noisy. When hello Dara, if you're watching.
Yeah. I still don't know what they are.
No, it's alright.
I'm messing.
They're very expensive. That's all you need to know. and they take years to learn. But that was a beautiful song as well. I don't think I've ever heard that song before. It's really, really interesting.
I think it's from like 2001 or something.
Lovely.
So it's I think I don't know if he's still going to go because they're a husband and wife.
Yeah.
It's his name, Alan Sparhawk, I think. Alan Sparhawk. Yeah. Anyway,
yes.
So it's basically him and his wife who died now. So it's like he's still doing a few things around.
Yeah.
Where he's from in Duluth. In what state's that in? Duluth.
Is it America?
Yeah. But what I can't remember.
Let's have a guess. Let's say Milwaukee, Portland, Oregon. I don't know. Is it East Coast, West Coast, North?
I don't know.
Missouri?
I feel like I
Middle?
should know the answer, but I don't.
It's very much it's inland a bit.
Okay.
Duluth, Missouri. I could be wrong.
I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie.
If this was like The Chase or some of them programs, you know,
I lost.
someone would be screaming the answer. And going,
Yeah, but
I just remember reading of her dying. That's all, but I can't remember where. Oh fuck.
America somewhere.
But he's still doing
Hey,
stuff.
you're at it again.
Like
Yeah.
I follow them on
joking.
on Instagram and all that, and he seems to still be doing stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's going to do more albums. But the
He
last
should, if
few
that's-
albums they weren't quite experimental. They were great. I saw him live about 4 years ago. I went on a date with a girl and I brought her to Low, playing like experimental Low. She didn't even really like music. But she seemed to like the gig.
Oh, then.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good because that's
we're,
quite risky.
It was in Vicar Street.
Ah.
I think we
Amazing.
discussed it. A couple were sitting down beside us because we were sort of kissing a bit.
Yeah.
So the couple stood up and walked away in disgust.
I probably would have done the same.
Look at them happy people. I don't want to be associated with them.
Yeah.
There was a band called
We're
Low.
married 15 years. I can't stand you anymore. Why can't you kiss me like that?
It was a really good gig though. Well, not because I was. Well, that was good as well. But it was. Yeah, it was.
And you didn't even have to play. That was the best part.
Yeah.
Normally you have to play to get that. But you paid for tickets instead.
Be saying things like that.
Oh, sorry.
People get the wrong idea about musicians.
But yeah, they're a great band. It's really interesting, the story. And one thing I love about them is when I saw them at Electric Picnic, or even in Vicar Street that time, it's just a very sparse setup.
Yeah.
So Alan Spar has guitar. He uses like 4 or 5 effects, and they're all, I can't remember the name of the brand, but they're a local brand near Duluth, and he uses a little Fender, not the Blues Junior, that's what I have, but even smaller than that.
Champion?
No, even like it's a tiny little.
Oh, okay.
So he uses a little amp. Then there's just his wife is on drums, but very basic setup with a like floor tom would be her main one and a few cymbals, and then a guy on bass and a keyboard that he played sparingly. But it was brilliant. So it was mainly their 2 voices that the whole gig was built around.
Yeah.
But they're brilliant. Really, really good.
I'll definitely look them up after this for sure. Now, that was your cover, and I'm sure everyone was delighted by it, as were we, but I'd definitely like to hear one of your own stuff.
Well, I suppose
Which song are you going to play for us?
The one that was new. Well, I'm releasing this next from the start of May, so it's technically new.
Okay, yeah. Well,
So it's a song called. Now I don't know how this is going to go. Let's see if this is working.
yes!
I'll try that in the
hang on.
background.
I'm going to try and show people this.
Yeah.
This is a tempura box I bought from India that I never used. I think it really needs to be put through a delay pedal or something, or lots of
that'd be
reverb.
cool, yeah.
It's quite a harsh sound.
So I'm just
It's a
showing
drone,
people that
basically.
on Facebook. As you can see, it's just a little box, and it has a bit of speaker on it. It just kind of does that sample over and over. Is that how it works?
It's just a note, so you can change.
Maybe we shouldn't change just in case.
Yeah. So it's a drone, basically.
Yeah.
So you're meant to play along with it. You're playing your Indian music, which I don't play.
Yeah.
But like there is a bit of a rhythm in there, a pulse that I just have to ignore because I'm not playing to that pulse.
Oh, right.
And there's a tempo thing on, but it doesn't really work well.
It's
You know,
irrelevant.
yeah. So I'm gonna give this a go. I won't put on the headphones for this.
Sure.
This might be a bit louder, so
Okay.
you want to just keep an eye on.
No,
So
I'll
it'll be
look
like,
after
you
that.
But I'll do the guitar in a minute. I'll start with the harmonium. And will I bring that down a bit?
That's perfect.
There, okay. So yeah, it's a song called Tells You. It is obviously on the album. This is a very different version of it. But yeah, there's a video got done for it with I was at a gig in I'll bring it down a bit, in November, and there was a drag artist who performed between the bands.
Oh, cool.
Called Dr. Ken Evil. And I thought they were brilliant. So I sent them a message on Instagram saying, doing a video for a song, would you like to perform in it?
Wow.
And they got back, oh, that'd be great, like, what do you want me to do? And I said, well, basically the whole video will just be you. So you can do what you want. So the guy who did the video for Father's Day, Michael David McKernan, he did it again, and they filmed it in Project Arts at the end of January, at the start of February, and it's finished now, and it looks brilliant. So, and it suits the song as well. So I'm looking forward. That'll be the start of May. I'll put that out.
Savage.
So that's that song. I'll bring it up again a bit.
Cool, man.
And
Take it away.
This is okay. Well, I was singing here when the hangman came. He colored his eyes slow black rain. Lesser from a web of tangled chain. He poured a drink in the recess of the bar and took aim. And in the midst of all this chaos she idles in, like some divan show, and everything explodes in me. I'm a loony bin. I'm a bumbling drunk in a carousel. But then something stirs, something jars the scene. I wasn't looking for death, but death found me. He was hanging out from a cypress tree. He was scorned down upon me like some haze and ceremony, testimony of a thin mama hell's man, blotting out a cause to a raging cyclone in a dreamland, nomad rambling in a wasteland, a calm man singing from a bandstand, a program of temperamental plans wrapped in my pocket, and the tin man's living in a world of pain. So my lover took a blade to the doctrinaire. Yeah, the phony sing when his heart ensnared in the haze inside 1,000-yard stare. It was the final act of a love affair. She wasn't looking for death, but death still came. It was a sorry show, it's a crying shame that she lost her mind, but she found her fate in some safe sanctuary, wild and free. Testimony of a thin mama helmsman, buckling out a cause to a raging cyclone in a dreamland, a nomad rambling in a wasteland, a calm man singing from a bandstand, a program, temperamental plans neatly wrapped in my pocket, and the tin man's living in a world of pain. La da da. La da 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 da. La da 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 la da da. Well, they told me to sell my rock and roll, sell it down the river to the meddling crowd in the border road. Sell it down the river. They told me to sell my dearest friend, sell him down the river to a Gory. See, now and then I'll sell it down the river. I will sell my heart, I'll sell my soul down the river, sell my will, I'll sell my whole down the river. I'm not selling the pond where I keep her whole. Sell it down the river, the my own sanctuary that harbors me. That thing broke.
Halfway through.
Yeah.
And then it started working out, which
Hey.
is great.
We got a loose connection anyway. I think we'll leave it off.
It's so cool though.
Absolutely cool. Yeah, you have to shake it. We were doing this before we started. There it goes.
If only George Harrison had that, I would have saved him years of learning it.
There we
With my mixer at home, I'll have to get that fixed. I think.
Cool, man. Man, that was savage.
That was unreal.
But that
Really
is
cool.
1,000 Yard Stare. What's that one about? So that was leading on from the last one. That song actually. I read over the lyrics obviously around January, because when I started, like, I had the album for the last year done, but I've only started releasing it now. So when I knew it would be the second single, I looked over the lyrics, and they were sort of weird because I wrote it a few years ago, and the lyrics sort of have a different meaning now.
Okay.
Because I realised it was about something, but I didn't realise at the time
Yeah.
what I was writing about. So, will I say what it's about?
Yeah, please.
It's
do,
totally up
'cause-
to you, man.
So-
Well, if you want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what I
sorry.
wrote, it's about something called. There's a thing on the internet now, attachment styles. It's become very popular in the last 10 years. There's a book written about 10 years ago on attachment styles. I work as a teacher. There's actually a girl I work with. It's our little joke. But it's become very much popular psychology.
Okay.
It says that, like, people are divided into 3 different attachment styles based on childhood. They're secure, which is about 50% of the population. People are going to have relationships. They feel steady, etc. There's avoidance, which is about 25. This is what now the internet says, or Facebook says, which are people who push people away in relationships. And then there's anxious, which is about 20%, the people who pull people in, and it's all based apparently on your history, but I take an element with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I wrote this at the time when I started a new relationship, and I felt quite anxious in the whole thing, not really knowing what it was about. And then last year, I have a son who's 4, but so the first time I'd met a girl like last year, and we started a relationship, didn't last anyway. And when it ended at the end of last year, I was sort of in bits a bit about it, and I started really reading up on attachment styles then, and then trying to make sense of it,
At least you can laugh. That's it.
And then I guess I realised if I was any of them, I'd be the anxious one.
Yeah.
And then reading back on the lyrics, it was like, oh my god, that's just about someone feeling anxious. Before the first chorus, the first 3 verses are all about basically being all over the place in your head, feeling anxious, feeling, what's the line I have in it? I'm a bumbling drunk on a carousel. That feeling of constantly going round, And then between the 2 choruses, it's about someone being pushed away, and basically the relationship ending, and then the end of the song is sort of just goes off on a tangent elsewhere. But so it was all about that, and I thought that was interesting because when I didn't realise it at the time until I went through another breakup about 4 months ago, which sort of knocked me a bit for 6. And then I had to, what do they say, work on yourself? So I've been working on myself, So, so it's about that.
We all kind of have to work on ourselves every night. I think if you think you're perfect, in a relationship, you're probably a narcissist. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I'm perfect.
That's far from perfect.
Yeah.
That's
Thanks for sharing that, man. That's really cool.
amazing.
That's a nice insight to your songwriting too.
Yeah, but it's weird because I'd usually be when I write songs, I labour over the lyrics, and I'd be very clear what everything's about. And that was one of the first times I looked back on something and said, oh, that's something I didn't realise at the time that I realise now.
Yeah.
And it was just interesting.
That is actually interesting that you were writing something, you're writing down your experience, but not really conceiving it, maybe.
Yeah.
So on review of
I
the
was sort of
lyrics,
writing from an emotional point.
Yeah.
But then when you realise why you're feeling that way a few years later, you can then more intellectual point look at it,
Take out the
So,
book.
yeah.
Right. Hang on. That's amazing, man. I really love the energy in it. And particularly I know your little machine that wasn't working
See,
there, and
it's
it's back in action.
No,
No, she's back.
distorting to hell.
Anna.
Nah, we're gone again.
Take it off.
But that moment where you switched from the harmonium to your guitar was real cool. Real energy, great energy in that part of the
It's
song.
like, I'm playing now with a couple of trumpet players, so that instrumental bit's just all on the trumpets.
Oh,
Cool.
And on the recording, that's on trumpets as well.
Wow.
But it's good. Like,
My fiance is a trumpet player. She's up there in the house watching.
We could have got her
it's
down.
the one instrument. So yeah,
Yeah, we could have.
I have a trumpet.
She wouldn't
at
appreciate
home.
it.
I have it, but I never played it.
Ah.
I should learn it. Like, it's the one instrument I'd love to. Well, drums actually. Drums would have saved me an awful lot of bother if I could play them properly. Yeah.
There's no, although you might get away with fake drums or in the box drums, but you'll not get away with in the box trumpet. It sounds awful.
There's loads of good plugins now. There are, but I don't think like you can with strings. I also have a like a C block, which is it's a ribbon. No, it's not a ribbon control. Is it a ribbon? But you can slide up and down anyway.
Cool.
MIDI controller.
Yeah.
And with that sort of thing, people can get realistic string sounds.
Yeah.
Because they're sliding on Technislons with very good plugins.
Yeah.
But
and like you can double up as well to kind of give it more of a richness as well. In some of them plugins, I used to use a thing called Vienna Symphonic. Did you ever hear of that?
Yeah, that's very takes up a lot of space in the computer.
Yeah, it needs nearly a separate storage unit. Yeah. But I haven't got it. It was on an old computer I had. It's just basically when I was in college, I used Sibelius to write music.
Oh, I have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I use that. All the strings and everything I wrote in Sibelius.
Yeah. It's very
great.
handy.
You can hear it back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you can also import a sound library like Vienna Symphonic and have it play back with a realistic, let's say, sound and strings, and it does make a big difference.
I did for Sibelius. You can download decent patches. The ones that come with it were shocking. But I remember I found these ones on the internet, and they were like someone put them up for Sibelius.
Yeah. And
it just made such a difference listening back.
It does. It gives you a bit more, because when you listen to that Sibelius sound, you go, Jesus, this is awful, or whatever. And in some cases, and then when you just put a realistic sound and plug in, all of a sudden, it doesn't sound so bad. It doesn't sound like a toy keyboard. So that's interesting, man. You also said that when you wrote the music. Is that something you studied in college, or did you just how did you learn music that way?
Well, I suppose I did all the piano grades, all that growing up.
Okay.
And then I taught myself guitar, taught myself to sing. I would have studied, I would have done jazz for a couple of years down in Dublin.
Lovely.
And I went back then. I also have another qualification from UCD in music as well.
Wow.
So I would have studied it either privately growing up or in college.
Quite a lot, but it's of things.
I do. I'd love to do like a master's in music technology, but I just can't get. It's just the time, and it's the money really. Time is connected to money. Like I can't give up a year or two and not be earning money because I have a mortgage to pay now since last year.
Oh, so, congratulations!
I moved down to Gory because I have a son who's not far away. So that's why I moved down. Because of that, I'd love to do. That's the only other qualification I ever want is music. There's one I do look up. There's one in Maynooth, Cork, Trinity and I think Limerick might have one as well.
I did a master's in music technology in Dundalk.
Oh, there's one in Dundalk as well.
With Rory Walsh. Now I never graduated because like that I ran out of money halfway through the year and had to go back working, and it was just very sad.
Were you trying to do it full time or part time?
I was full time at the time, and then it was a full time, so I had to attend. That was part of the whole thing. I couldn't do it from afar, but anyway, c'est la vie, So I always thought to myself, I really, really wanted to do a master's in composition, but it just wasn't available at the time. Okay. So the master's that was available was music technology.
I think the one in Trinity is very much geared towards like electronic
music,
or what do you call it? Electroacoustic.
Electroacoustics, yeah. That's kind of what I was into.
A piano string, and then sitting there for 3 minutes to hear the and then recording the vibrations into their computer.
Yeah, well,
that sort of stuff.
I used to do that. No, there's a place up in Queens called the SARC Centre. Have you ever heard of this? SARC, and it's this massive cage. And with speakers surrounding the cage.
Oh, wow.
And you go up with your electroacoustic music, and there's a big, say, 32 channel mixing desk in the middle, and you can put your sounds all around. It's like an immersive experience. And I did that many years ago, but since I left college, I haven't kept it up.
Yeah, that is one that I'd love to more. I know I'm going to do another album in a year or so. I have half of it written. I'll be moving away from this sort of stuff, and then I see myself going, well, not flicking a piano string, but more sort of electronic-y, I think, in the future. I think it just interests me. I like the way of combining that with like I'd be okay piano player and sort of combining those two things in particular.
Yeah.
But then that is moving on. Like I have this album really is it's very lyric based. I've spent years and years developing that. So maybe it might be a bit of a waste just to abandon that.
You could just make it like an experimental EP.
You know, both.
Yeah,
I suppose I can do both.
Yeah.
I give myself a name for the electronic stuff, like some internet name, like Cyber 33.
Yeah, there you go.
Star.
Hashtag
like
star.
Yeah.
42.
00001.
What was Monty Python's? What was the meaning of life? What was the number?
Oh yeah,
42 or something, wasn't it? Or something like that.
I never watched it.
Have you not?
No, I need that.
They invent this big computer to find out the meaning of life, and at the end of it, they're all kind of, great computer, tell us what the meaning of life, and it's like 42. You know, like but it makes sense to the computer.
Yeah. There's some film Pi. I just read a thing yesterday about it. It's 25 years old.
Oh, Pi's a great film.
Ara, what's his name? Darren Ara. He did like Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
And I can't pronounce it.
Not a great movie, Requiem for a Dream.
And he went out with Jennifer Lawrence. So
wow.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a guy.
But he owns the film now because there was a deal done. I read a thing yesterday that after 25 years he gets ownership of the film. So the studio, whoever did, doesn't know. But it was about that thing. I think it was about a number that the character discovers. That it's like the meaning, it all balance comes from
like
this number.
The Fibonacci sequence or something.
Yeah, something like that. So it's sort of that idea, the Monty Python thing.
Cool, man. No, I just thought that'd be your internet cyber something 42 or 43 for all the Monty Python fans out there. Now, we think we'll have another song from you. I haven't been following. She's on.
I'm going to abandon this. I'm just going to use my guitar.
You're gonna.
No, we're in C.
Oh, she's alright.
What's that? It's a bit distorted.
I'll tell you now.
Have a listen.
I might move that mic closer.
I think I'm going to turn it off. It sounds a bit more manky.
You sure?
Yeah. I'll just do the guitar. Yeah, there's always. I did played a festival on my own last September. Fantastic. It's not far from here.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It's great, lovely. But I had like. I was going to do it on my own, so I have a vocal effects pedal to do all the reverby stuff.
Yeah.
And I only brought one power supply, and the power supply didn't work.
Oh.
So I just had to improvise and not do
Well, now you know us, and we live locally, so if you're ever stuck, give us a shout.
Yeah. So there's always something like this thing. It's gone. Yeah. So anyway, I can do it without it, scrunch.
It still looks cool.
So this song is called. Yeah. So this will be my. I'm doing 3 like releases, singles, and this will be the 3rd one. Probably the summer. Although I was talking to a publicist and he advised release nothing in the summer. Oh. So because it just gets lost with all the festivals.
Yeah.
And everything. So he was saying maybe do it at the start of September, maybe a few weeks before an album. Yeah. But I want to do an animation video first. But I was talking to an animator, so I'll get back in contact with her. She's very good. So it's a Lost Honeybee. It's a song that's basically a breakup song about me breaking up with my my son's mother. That's what it's about, basically. Or it could be anyone though. Yeah, it could work for the one a few months ago. So it's like a universal breakup song. But that was the motivation to write it.
Cool, man.
And I'm done with breakup songs now though. So that last breakup, I'm not writing any breakup songs. So this is my breakup song.
This is your breakup with breakup songs.
Yeah. Here we go.
Thanks, man.
In my mind the devil rings a warning bell, it echoes all around. beyond the point where lovers go, and to some failing theatre show it sounds. And though a voice may call on me and feed my yearning empathy, catches like a melody in the ether suddenly, I am back to where I stood, dangling on the edges of denial. And it was me who saw the sweethearts in full flow, then watched affection come and go with the ease of a folding domino. It would seem that she plays a mean, hard-hearted game for cruel sport, but everything's confused. And devoted words hang in the air, just residue reshaped and reproduced. And though she's just an anecdote of playful times and inner jokes, her memory lingers like a ghost. Next to me, a baritone bellow from my bursting chest. I'm babbling in a vacuum to no one, saying it was me who saw the sweethearts come undone on a street in Babylon, where each girl has a place and a song in their name. But it seems that in the age of wannabes, she's a ringer for the queen, or just a lost honeybee. And in my mind the devil sings a harmony, it makes the bloody sound of 1,000 tales of tragedy, 1,000,000 words all strewn across the ground. Though my walls came crashing in a fit of love, a mothering archangel came to take me in. She soaked my feet and bathed my skin, and I was calling out her name, singing to the heavens for a clue, singing it was me who saw the sweethearts in full flow. Then watch my lover come and go like a thief at the end of it all. She is free, but it seems that in the age of wannabes, she's a ringer for the queen, but just a lost honeybee.
Woo!
Someone just sent me a message there.
Just in time. Man,
I wonder if that's someone watching it.
Yeah.
Saying something. No, it's not.
Nah. Vodafone, you owe us money.
Yeah.
Man, that's unreal. The guitar sounds like kind of Elliott Smith.
I
Yeah.
love Elliott Smith.
Yeah.
I did like there's a few Elliott Smith like nights and wheelings that I heard. John Byrne, he's a guy who does a lot of he did it, the Apollo sessions is finished now, but he organises these iHeart they do an iHeart Bowie every year for the Bowie Festival.
Yeah, okay.
And he's done a few of them. So he did Elliott Smith a couple of years, and I played
cool.
one or two of them, which was great. Like Whelan's was packed with Elliott Smith fans.
That's
Wow.
really cool.
Yeah. He's done other ones as well. They did a John Prine one recently, I think. But he's done loads of them anyway. But yeah, that was a. But I love Elliott Smith.
No, definitely. And
he's great.
And just the certain chords they were playing, just they're like it was just amazing, man. That was unreal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. Very, very good. Those lyrics, right? Yeah, wannabes, honeybees. Yeah, very, very clever.
I wrote like it takes me weeks to write a song. My family have like a mobile home in Kerry, and when I remember I wrote that song, I used to go to the pub in Daniel called the Blind Piper. I'd always have a laptop. I like to do a little bit of research when I'm doing lyrics, like just various things. If I'm using a metaphor or something, I'll read about it.
Yeah.
And so I had my laptop with me, and I wrote a few of those verses drinking pints in the pub in the Blind Piper. So,
makes me ask
in
the
the middle of
question,
the afternoon.
why aren't we drinking pints now?
Yeah, exactly.
I've been I was saying to Berto before we started, I was originally in the corner where you're sitting there, I was gonna have a tap with a Guinness thing and have the yoke outside.
Yeah, my dream when I got my house, a bar was on my list, but then I had to abandon it very quick.
Yeah,
because like having a bedroom would be more important.
Is it?
Or a kitchen? Yeah,
just an Al Murphy bed and a bar, and you're sorted.
I mean, if you have enough of them, you can sleep there.
Yeah.
So like, why bother get a bedroom? Why bother with a bedroom?
It was about 2 years ago. There was a place in Carlow, and and it was on the market for 2 years, but it was sold. But it would have been the other side of where my son's from, but about 20 minutes. But this place had a nightclub in it. Like they had a nightclub that had like a massive like garage that would have been used for actual repairing cars.
Oh, right.
And you could turn it into a music studio. What else did they have? I had a cinema.
This was
up for 300 grand.
What?
It was up for 300 grand. I had a cinema, nightclub, 4 bedrooms. It looked amazing, all done up, all looked new. And it's just during lockdown, no one went for it. And then just before I got a mortgage, it was sold.
Oh, fuck.
And I was like,
it's all right, don't worry, forgive me.
But then out of my head, every place I get has to have a cinema. and a nightclub.
Yeah. You don't ask for much.
I had to abandon that. I had to abandon that. And I remember I was talking to the estate agent because she brought me somewhere else to show me somewhere else. And I said, "Oh, remember that house?" She goes, "Oh yeah, it's a lovely family bought it." She said, "You should have seen the cinema." I said, and all the furniture and everything, all the beds. I said, I imagine they were taking that with them. Oh no, everything was left there. Like all the cinema chairs, everything was left behind. And it was like, she said, "Oh my god, it was like being in a real cinema. They had a big sound system and everything."
There's like, "Please shut up." Telling the woman, "Stop talking."
You're just kind of like staring at her.
And you should have seen it. It was unreal. We watched the movie before.
Dolby surround sound, you know.
I have to admit, when I had my son, when I used to have to go down, let's say on Wednesday afternoons, when I didn't have a place, I'd just bring him to parks and stuff like that. He fell asleep one afternoon. I did drive by the house just to have a look, like, you know.
Yeah.
So like I had to.
You're still living that dream. That could have been.
One day they'll all die and you can have the house.
I've let it go now. But it did hurt for a while.
I could just imagine, you're getting your house.
You write one of the songs about that too.
Yeah. The house that got away.
Is that what that one was about?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know as much. There used to be like, I think Gavin Glass. He's like, he's down in South Wexford.
Oh.
His orphan studios are down there, but he got a house with a swimming pool in it. But he converted the swimming pool into his studio. So it's like, I think I've never been in it, but when he's in his control room, you go out and go down into the live room.
Oh wow!
So, but then that would have been 5 when you could get houses for decent value. That's all gone, long gone.
You're just standing there going, "How much is the house? $250, but has it got a cinema
or a swimming pool studio?"
Yeah.
A swimming pool, $250. Come on, see what you can do for me. Okay, we're actually getting very close to the end. I'm enjoying chatting to you though. This is going really well.
It's gone again.
And I was going to use it for the last song.
Tinkle away with it there if you want and give it a wee shake.
I'm going to use this music box for the last song anyway, and my guitar, so I could get by without it. Now this last one I haven't really worked out. I have to improvise a bit by the end, so it might end up being a bit of a mess, but sure it'll be okay. It's a song from the album called Getaway.
Okay.
So the idea was, after going through the first song by Low, which is like about falling, the second song about being real anxious in a relationship, the third song about it all falling apart, the last song is sort of a song I wrote about dealing with it. Like, I suppose I've always had music.
Oh.
Not that music. But when I'm feeling I'm having a bad time or whatever, and I can always, that's what it's about. Some people have other things. Some people love exercise. Some people, I don't know, act. Some people, everyone having something that you can go and take up your time and you can enjoy having a getaway. That's basically what it's about. Ooh.
Let's see.
Maybe.
Oh.
Perfect.
There we go.
Okay, so
Unreal.
let's just check all this. Lovely. Let's get this on anyway. Okay, so let's hope it works. Give it a second.
Sure.
I have to go back out and back in. That's the way you always deal with IT problems.
Turn it on. No,
Yeah.
actually, have you tried turning it on and off again?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what Sarah always tells me to do.
So hopefully this works.
She's the head of IT in our house.
His summer glow, I knew you dazzled brightly, but I didn't know. Your beams refracted sharply, leaving shaded forms upon the wall to eclipse the dangling dolls, and our lovers' dolls. A blazing supernova, just a lot of fuss. From madly treading water at the juncture of dissevered life is where I come tonight. Here I'm free and I'm alive, and it's a getaway. It's a getaway in here, and it's a getaway. It's a getaway here, and it's a getaway. It's a getaway in here, and it's a getaway. It's a getaway here, and I'll sing so hopeful. Sirens refrain, flies like a vulture to silence. Wind may howl and heave the stubborn fixtures with the brawling growl of a tempest in the winter. But in this place the air is sealed, the walls are sleepy still. So I slip away on vibrations from the timber of a soft refrain, heavy as a whisper, and all across its melody the scales entangle me. For it's here I'm free, for it's here you see. Let's finish the song. And it's a getaway. It's a getaway in here. And it's a getaway. It's a getaway here. And it's a getaway. It's a getaway in here. And it's a getaway. It's a getaway here. And it's a getaway. It's a getaway in here. It's a getaway. It's a getaway here. And it's a getaway. It's a getaway in here. It's a getaway. It's a getaway in here. Ooh.
Thank you so much.
Now, yeah, I'll have to figure out how to do that one on my own. It was alright. It was grand. I like the music box though. This thing needs to go.
Yeah, definitely send it to your man in the block.
Des O'Loughlin. Big shout out to Audiocom and Dundalk. They fix everything.
And if not,
amazing.
I'll take it off you. And destroy it.
Ah, no, that was
That was unreal.
Yeah, man, I'm a fan. I like obviously what Father's Day and that, but that's you've got an incredible album there, and I can't really. I am honest when I say this. I can't wait to hear it. I really can't.
I'll just be interested to hear this done with full band as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was meant to have our
different.
first full band gig tomorrow.
Yeah.
But someone's sick, so I'm just going to do it on my own.
Yeah.
In Fibber McGee's.
Oh, what time is it at?
I'll be on about 10 to 10, I think.
Okay, there you go.
So I'll do.
Everyone.
I'm
Yes.
not bringing this. I'm gonna have. I'll have my guitar. I'll have a couple of pedals. I think I'll have a wah and a distortion. I have my Line 60 L4. I might do a little bit of looping, or maybe not.
Same.
Don't know. Then I'll have my keyboard, my Nord, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
And I'll have my two vocals.
Okay.
My main and my one, and I'll bring a spare power for it.
This time.
So yeah, so I'll I'll do seven. I think I'll do a cover.
Yeah.
I used to do a version of the band played Waltz and Matilda when I was with a band called We Raise Bears. I think I'll do that tomorrow.
Okay.
Cool.
But I'm at 40 minutes, 7 songs.
Oh, nice.
I'll drag it out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do tomorrow still. It sort of came out of the blue. I thought I'd be with the band.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to do it on my own. I haven't done, I suppose I did Van Tassel. That was last September.
Yeah.
So I need to prepare two things. Like, in general, I need to have a set on my own and a set with the band. So, and they're very different. The songs are played very differently on my own, or they will be anyway.
Yeah.
So I'll have to figure all that out.
And is it with the band? Is it a full like drum kit, bass, that type of thing? What's the instruments?
A very good drummer, guy called Fergal. He plays a load. He plays with an act called Pastiche. Should be a pop act. He's doing okay now. Like he went to BIM. He finished there about 2 years ago.
Okay.
But he's sound and he's a very good drummer.
Deadly, yeah.
So I found him on Facebook basically.
Oh.
And he's great. Then there'll be a couple of trumpeters and guitar and bass. But guitar and bass is when they are playing a little bit of keyboards here and there as well.
Okay.
But I haven't met the bassist yet. His first rehearsal is on Friday week with us.
Oh well.
Oh, not Friday week. It's I don't know where. It's in soon anyway, like, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like it's hard to get six people together. That's been the I set it up maybe a month or 2 months ago, but we only really had a few rehearsals because it's just hard. But there's no rush, I guess, of not releasing the album for 5 or 6 months.
Exactly. Yeah.
I just want to get the first band gig will be next month sometime.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool.
But there's been a few.
And where do you
issues
think
with
that will
sickness
be?
and stuff like that.
Have you a venue picked out or?
Well, maybe in the Soundhouse middle of April. Yeah, there's a thing called Soundhouse Rising on Tuesday nights.
Deadly.
I think we're down for that in the middle of April. So I will, yeah. But we had to again pull out tomorrow. Well, I'm going to be doing it because of sickness, and there's a couple of issues, just personal things with people.
So if anyone's watching this, that's 10 to 10 in Fibber McGee's tomorrow night, Thursday night. Make sure you go.
There's
If you're in the area, go
there's
down and
4
check it
acts
out.
on. There's 2 bands and another guy on his own. And I think your man who organised it, when I texted him yesterday, was like, "Oh no, I'm only meant to have one person on their own. The rest is meant to be bands." But so I was like, "Sorry, I can't do anything about it." But yeah, so should be good.
Sure, they'll figure it out.
But yeah, I'll hopefully get a bit of a practice in before.
Yeah.
For a couple of hours, because I'm really going to be winging it a lot.
Not at all.
But it'll be great.
Well, if you're winging it anyway like that, it'll be a fucking class gig.
I was winging it. I was winging it a bit.
Well,
yeah.
If you need a sound engineer, give us a call tomorrow. I'll set you up with I'll get the exact same sound there now.
I do want to bring a lot of looping into my solo stuff, but I want to do it through Ableton Live.
Oh yeah.
Because I think for sound quality.
Yeah.
And also if I want to loop vocals, and I can put everything through that, then, like, you know.
Yeah.
But
you can even recall a wee patch that might help you get off.
Yeah.
You know, if you were to go from
with
one
the live
instrument.
band, I'm using Ableton Live, and I've automated a lot of looping into some of the songs.
Cool.
So because say the first song of the album, it's basically an instrumental, but there's a few vocal lines here and there, but there's a big build up near the end, but like you'd need a 10-piece band to play it.
Yeah.
But a lot of stuff is repeating, so what I can do, I play it and I've automated to loop for, let's say, 4 bars, and then I'll play something else and that'll be automated to loop. So I don't like the idea of playing lots of backing tracks. I think if at least it's played live and then it's looped, it's still live. You know?
I use a Launchpad Pro with Ableton, and it's
oh, do you?
Yeah, it definitely works out great, and like you have total control over everything while you're.
Yeah, I have I have an Ableton Push, but I've never.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the
first one.
The Launchpad Pro is exactly like the first or second Ableton Push. I can't remember.
I have the
but
first
it's the exact
one anyway.
same thing, just slightly different, and yeah.
But I've never I got it with the View. I wouldn't use that with the band now, but because my hands are just taken up with it. Because I'm mainly on the keyboard, so I have a keyboard on the top stack and my Nord on the bottom, and then on my left I have like my ribbon controller, my C block, and I have another little MIDI controller there. So I have like, this is like a little Nova. I have like a arpeggio set in it.
Yeah.
So a lot of the songs on Music Box, it's arpeggiated plugins through it. So I'm like this and that and that. So I have
whistles and strings.
And then I'll have to be on guitar for a couple of things as well. But yeah, it's it'll take a month or two.
It's like an opera or something, some sort of visual opera.
Yeah, it's gonna take I don't know, but like it's good. I think it's important to have a good drummer with this stuff, and Fergal's so used to using it, like with the pop acts he plays with and everything.
Yeah.
Everything's through Ableton. So nearly every gig he does is through Ableton, and we're Click and everything. So he was a good one to get.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you on the road, man. And I definitely, if you're playing in Fantastival again, I'll definitely be going.
They're not doing it this year. I looked it
Oh,
up.
they're not?
Yeah, no,
I looked it up.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to maybe Ignore the Noise should start a festival. What do you think? Yeah, I think maybe that's what
Ignore the festival.
Ignore the festival. Guys, unfortunately that is us for tonight. Thanks Conor for coming all the way up again. We really appreciate it, and thank you for the wonderful music. That was smashing.
Thank you very much, guys.
It really was. And thanks for our viewers that stayed with us the whole time. I couldn't believe it. There was a load of people watching there. Fair play to you.
Oh, was there?
I'd say it was very captivating, even in internet land. I hope it was. My internet's sometimes terrible, so some people tell me it skips and stuff like that. But tune in on Spotify. It'll be there tomorrow night if you want to listen to the whole thing back. And also it'll be on Facebook and Instagram. And at Ignore the Noise podcast. And of course, if people want to follow you, want to tell anyone where they can find you?
I guess Instagram, Conor Miley Music. I'm thinking of changing what's it called, the tagline?
Yeah.
Because it makes me sound like hire me for a wedding. But you can if you want, though.
Yeah, please.
I'm not against that.
So, just once again, what's
Conor
your...
Miley Music.
Conor Miley Music.
Instagram, I'm on Facebook and Twitter as well. So,
and if they type in Conor Miley on Spotify, they get you there too?
Yeah, I'm on Spotify, all like YouTube, it's all Conor Miley Music.
Perfect.
Everything. Yeah, and all, what is it? Apple Music, whatever.
Best
all
of
of them.
Changing all that.
I know, yeah. I want to do like an underscore with a big O and a little.
Yeah.
Make it look
nice. Now, thank you very much, Conor. We're going to be playing out with a specific track. Do you want to
it's
introduce
a new song by the Magnificent Loafers. They're playing the 20th of April in Dundalk in the Spirit Store. With support from the Dundalk Dolls and myself. That's our community.
They had a very nice comment on my video.
Oh, did they?
Magnificent Loafers.
Yeah.
And then it's a load of students in the school I work. That's all the comments on my video.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, no.
But
He's my teacher.
This is great.
They had nice things to say, so that was nice.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah.
Great. Well, this was a great show. Thank you very much for a very entertaining show. And give it a play.
The song is "Don't Be Evil." So the 20th of April in the Spirit Store, free admission. So everyone join.
All right, guys. Thanks a million.